It's a day. It is Monday the 23rd, and I am doing some DNA pulling for some tests. So a few months ago I did DNA samples. I sent them off for 4 of my goats. That included Grant, my herd sire for this year, and Titan, who was a junior herd sire, and Winnie and Robin all got DNA tested for G6-S. This is a gene mutation. They can either be normal, which means the best case scenario. They can be a carrier, which means they can pass it on to their offspring. And they can also be, if they're a carrier and you breed them to another carrier, you can end up with affected kids that can die. Their failure to thrive, they die at a young age. There's issues with the babies. This is more specific to the Nubian breed. And so Titan, my little blue roan Nubian buckling, actually was rehomed because he ended up being a G6-S carrier. And I did not want to have to DNA test every single baby that he produced. And so for me, I am making it a rule for my farm, my breeding program, that any buck that I'm using as breeding has to be G6-S normal, which means that they do not pass along that genetic mutation. So far, my does have all tested clear, but I have 3 other does that I need to test, as well as my other junior herd sire, Denny. And so I'm going to pull DNA from him, and then we're going to go do the rest of the girls. What? Good boy. Good boy. Alright, that is it. We got the little white stumps. That's what we need. We need 30 to 40 hairs. And then, my paper's all wrinkled. I've got a paper inside the envelope. And what I'm going to do is tape this sample to the paper. This would be way nicer to do when it's not winter, but here we are. And that's gonna work out just fine. And then I'm gonna throw this directly into this envelope, and hopefully I can seal it right away. Just like that. His name is on it, Denny Denali, and then I'll write his full registered name on it. Blech. Blech. Nasty. All right, 1 down, got 3 to go. I was not sure if that was going to work. I thought maybe I'd have to put her up on a milk stand. I just dumped some grain over there. They fought over it. And I grabbed some DNA that way. So we're going to go throw that into the envelope again. She's on the hunt for grain. Alright, no, go away. Shoved around here. All right, one more done. This one's for Reba. Just need my tape. That's right, Sage, you did so good. Everybody's just happy to have their num-nums again. I always get worried about this. I'm like, what if it's not a clear enough sample? But there's a lot of hairs there. So hopefully we're good. Double check the name. That came from Reba. Seal it up. Go. There we go. Much better. Good girl. All done. All done. I'm sorry. That was yucky. That's it. That's all we need. Drops. There we go, our last one. All right, done skis. So let's go over it. I pulled samples from Reba, Rose, and Sage here in the corner, and then Denny the buck. Robin has been done already. Winnie has been done already. And Willow is normal by parentage, which means that her mom and her dad both have tested normal, and there's proof of that. Sage also has negative, or like, I keep saying negative, but normal parents, but because I don't have paper proof, I have to test her so that I have proof to offer my buyers. Yeah, I don't want to claim that I have a G6-S normal doe, therefore G6-S normal kids, if I do not have paper proof, which is why I've gone ahead and just tested her for the sake of it. That way I can claim without a doubt that my goats are G6-S normal. That would be absolutely amazing and incredible if every single one of my Nubians that I have on the farm test out to be G6-S normal. Would be the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, well, we're not going to get a worst case scenario, because that would have been if my buck had been a carrier and then he was bred to a doe who ended up being a carrier. We would have had a risk for affected or sick kids. We're not going to get that because Grant already tested normal. What would be unfortunate is if one of my does came back as a carrier, then I would have to DNA test the kids to make sure that that was not passed on then to the kids. But for sure, Willow will have normal kids, Winnie will have normal kids, and aside from that, the rest is unknown, because Reba was bred to a normal buck, but I do not know if she's normal. Robin was bred to a buck who was a carrier before I bought her, before I knew that the buck she was bred to was a carrier. So I have to DNA test her kids regardless. But I DNA tested her because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have a chance for affected kids, because the buck was a carrier. If she had turned out to be a carrier, I would have been very, very stressed. So hopefully the rest of the girls will come back normal. And then we're going to be rocking and rolling for getting babies registered once they're born, right? Cute little peaches. Hey, Rebel, you feeling very, very pregnant right now? Winnie is so thin, like not in a bad way thin, but she carries very strange. I'm like, oh boy, I sure hope she's pregnant. If she's not, I'd be surprised if there was more than one. I'm sure that she's only got one in there if she is pregnant, because she is due in about a month and she does not have much of a belly. She's a fairly thin goat regardless, and then nice and deep. So I don't know, there could be a baby hiding in there. It's just hard to say. So I'm gonna get all these packaged up and sent off, along with some registration papers that finally can be transferred to my name. Yeah, anyways, that's a long story. Regardless, it'll be nice to have my goats in my name instead of the other breeder's name, because she didn't get her poop in a group and was not transferring stuff to me. So finally I was like, just send me the signed papers. I will pay for the transfer. I just want the papers in my name. Needless to say, probably won't be doing business with her again in the future, just because it should not take more than 6 months to get your paperwork. Just got to fill out the actual paperwork forms for these, and then we'll hop off to town and ship them all off. Okay, this is gonna be terrible footage, I'm sorry, but I'm in town. I'm gonna open out these packages quick. Uh-oh. How do we do this? Here, let's just set you right here. It's very, very bright, as you can tell. There, now I can see. Ooh la. This, I feel slightly embarrassed that I even added it to the wish list, because you know, when you get to a certain point in life and you just don't really have any kind of modesty things. This is a memory foam pillow. It's for like side sleeping. I didn't realize it would come in such a small box. It must like poof up, I would imagine. Perfectly match the cervical curve without stiff neck. There you go. 2 different heights, 2 different sides of different heights for your needs. So this is hopefully so my shoulders and neck don't get super kinked. This is a continued gift from Sheila, kind of sent in multiple pieces. Sheila, thank you so much for a pillow so I can have a good night's sleep. I'm so excited. I'm just gonna put that back here. This next box is rather large. Let's see if we can get into it. Yeah. Okay, this is kind of why I wanted to open it now, because... Oh. Here, hold on, I'll show you. This is a sewing machine, but it can be used for leather, and yes, it's upside down because it's heavy. It's a sewing machine that you can also use for leather, as well as other things, and this is going to be for Stan and his beaver hat creations. He's been stitching everything, poking every hole by hand. And so I am excited for him to be able to use this. So that means I'm going to go hit a store and see if I can find some proper thread for this. Thank you, Sheila, so much. You have been beyond generous, beyond what words can describe. I know this is like, I'm in the Safeway parking lot right now because it's absolutely insane in there, because everybody's getting their last minute Christmas items and food preparation. Thank you over and over again for these gifts. You have an incredibly special place in my heart, not just because you have blessed us with gifts, but also because you have blessed us with your time and your comments and your wonderfully encouraging words to us. And so a huge thank you. I'm going to wrap this up and make Stan wait till Christmas Day to open it, because I'm going to be completely honest. He's very, very hard to shop for. And this was one of the things where I was like, I would really love to get this for Christmas. And then for whatever reason, I did not order it. I just put it on the Amazon wish list. And Sheila ordered it for him. And so I'm going to wrap it up for him so he can open it up Christmas morning, because there's not a ton that he gets to open Christmas morning. So this will just add to some of the excitement there. He'll have no idea that it's coming. So thank you so much, and Merry Christmas. So currently, I am hauling 2 more panels over to the Wiener suite. Well, the Wieners and Jezzy. And that is because they busted the top rail off, and we gotta nail it back up. And of course, crazy me thinks that it would be easier to haul 2 panels over there than to track down a hammer and nail the board back up. Well, that's probably not even all the way true. I think my brain is thinking they know they can push that board off, and so even if I tack it back up, they're going to try it again. So I'm just going to throw some panels there, and then they can't push through it. So this is what I'm talking about. This very low fence. I came out here, and Jitterbug, that one back there, was out with the rest of the ponies. Not because she was hungry, because there's a full bale in there. Not because she was thirsty, because she had access to water. For no other reason other than she decided she wanted to be a stinker. Isn't that right, Ladybug? So I'm going to put these panels up this stretch, and then that way gives some more height to this fence. Oh, hey, you. All right. So here's our fix-it. They lost a little bit of square footage. Sorry, girls, you got a smaller room now. I'm going to fix this rail when it's not 9 o'clock at night. They're stable, even more so than before with the panels. It gives them almost like an extra 1.5 feet of fencing. The other day I actually had Jezzy jump the whole thing when this board was up, so she must have knocked it hard enough that it loosened the nails. And then, who knows, if they leaned on it and pushed on it, then it would pop out. Anyways, we're gonna feed the rest of these munchkins. I tossed them a little bit when I noticed, oh look, Jitterbug is out. Breeze is her mama, and so I don't want her to randomly start nursing again and bring her back into milk. I didn't see any evidence of nursing, but you never really know. Plus, all of the good food is in the pen for her. So yeah, there you have it. Get you guys all some food. Not that you can see them because I turned my flashlight off. Unfortunately, I can't really show you much of this gorgeous night sky, but it is beautiful. A very, very beautiful night. Everybody is back into their respective pens. Everybody's fed and happy. The doe's got some alfalfa pellets tonight. I'm going to start them on more feed. Once it gets colder, probably some soaked feed. Just to help bring in their lactation really strong, because they are due in about a month. It's such a beautiful evening. It was like +4 this afternoon. Absolutely incredible. I wish that our winters were this mild, but alas, they are not. But I will enjoy this warm weather while it lasts. And I'm going to go inside, hopefully get some sleep. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And let the festivities begin. All of the family gatherings and yummy munchies and all of the hope for the season. Have a good night.